Hope everyone's having a beautiful, beautiful morning. I am having a beautiful morning. So this is at 3:15 in the morning, basically, and I'm there's some things that I would like to address that's really, really important to me. After after um I go live, I'm gonna go live again. I'm gonna go live again after this, but I'm gonna put it up. This is gonna probably be maybe like 25 minutes, if that. If that. You see the topic. The topic's dealing with mental health, and it's dealing with, violence, which go hand in hand. The reason why I picked this topic is because the new bag is mental health. Is mental health, and the reason why this is the new bag and the new norm is because murder, death, kill, barbaric, evil, twisted way of life have to come up with new tactics and new scenarios to keep us down and oppressed and keep us in a trauma state mind frame and keep us bewitched and keep us dazzled with materialistic things, thinking that these things are here is going to help our past experience, our traumas, and our future events. We don't know that these things that we are doing is causing more destruction and more pain, destruction and more pain, and more destruction and pain. As a victim, as I stand before you and to talk to you and give you solutions and outlooks on how to deal with past traumas and how to deal with violence and how to deal with these certain things, there are so many signs that you are dealing with past traumas and illness that's upon our community, right? Which is produced by societies, which is produced by murder, death, kill, barbaric, evil, twisted way of life. Right? These illness and social illness and mental illness is very detrimental to us individually and us collectively, because what this encounter and what this produces, right, is a ticking bomb. It's a ticking bomb that's waiting to explode upon any and everyone, right? And that once our mental is gone, right, there's no coming back. It can be so, it can be so deadly that it can murder you. It can murder you. In many different incidents, as we look throughout history, and as we look at things how it's progressing in our communities, right? They use this as a bag because you have to produce mental illness in order to get to the bag, right? You have platforms that have outlets that we need to express ourselves, right? And we feel that we are leading ourselves and others to victory, but we are leading ourselves down a path of dark, 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 dark entities that's going to intertwine with us and try to destroy us, basically. So we cloak and we fulfill our traumas and our illness with materialistic things, thinking that it's going to help us. Whether it could be anything, you can have a passion in being on YouTube. You can have a passion on being on Facebook. You can have a passion on being on TikTok. You can have any of these passions, right? And using your traumas and using your illness and violence to get money, basically. It's all for your demise at the end, and it's all for your what? Entertainment. You are entertaining those individuals that is what? That is looking at you and viewing you and looking at as you are being a mentally ill patient. You are being a mentally ill patient. And these things need to be addressed. These things need to be put in the forefront. But society doesn't put it in the forefront. They put drugs and alcohol in our neighborhood to cope with this mental illness. And these plantation that needs bodies and needs den numbers and your name above your chest. And you could be considered an outcast in the Star of David. These things are a leading force in our society as we see it today. They are not being addressed, right? And these issues are being what? Met with violence and drugs and alcohol. Because at the end of the day, it's running it up. It produces money. It produces jobs. Okay? It produces these things. We see it on our buses. We see it on our train. We see it on social media. We see it in everywhere in family that traumas of past traumas and illness of past illness is passed on. Because you know why these things are being met? And you know why this is a leading force in all civilizations all around the world. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what creed you come from. It doesn't matter your religion, your background. It doesn't matter anything. But before I get into answering your questions and giving you solutions that we need to do these certain things, in order to encounter our past traumas and our illness and dealing with violence, which has plagued us, right? Night after night, day after day. So we come on platforms and we come on platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to gather up information and to gather followers and subscribers and viewers, right? And reaching out to victims. This is what these platforms are here for. This is what these platforms are here for. If you're not seeking encouragement, if you're not seeking upliftment within inside of yourself, and you're not searching for who you need to deal with, then you're not doing the job as a leader, as a founder of yourself. You're doing yourself a great service, and I know that because I am a victim. I am a victim, and I understand that. So this is why I built my platform, and I build things, right, to lead those that dealing with mental illness and dealing with all these things. I don't have to be a person that went to school for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, get my doctorate degree. I could do that because I have the ability to do it and the skills, basically. My father has his master's degree in social work, right? So I learned certain things from him from social illness. The reason why these things are being met inside our communities, inside our societies, right? Because these was all plots and plans of those who portrayed these certain behaviors so it can produce a bag. Social illness, social gatherings, social murdering of each other, basically, are being met with violence. These things are put here and planted here for a certain reason. It is not there to help, basically, heal you. The only one that can heal you is the Creator. This is what He says in scriptures, that come to Him. He can heal you, but you have to go in there and fight your own demons. You may have 4 or 5 demons. You may have 4 or 5 murder, death, killed, barbaric, evil, twisted mindsets and different mental disorders that's it upon you. Basically, thoughts, visions. These things are very, very serious. This is not nothing to play with. And people look at it as entertainment. You basically, it's not that you're saving anyone. You're not saving no one, and you're not saving yourself. So these things need to be looked at. These things need to be rewritten within inside of your thoughts and understanding. Because if I did it without help, without going to social workers, without going through alcohol, which I thought that alcohol and cigarettes was going to help me basically in doing these murder, death, kill acts and violence, which was going to help me. No, it actually made me even more evil and disrespectful and doing things I don't supposed to do. You have to go in there and fight your demons. It's literally demons. I saw them from a spiritual point of view. They exist and they plague people year after year, day after day, minute after minute. You have to go in there and do it. You can go seek everything which is mentally that is plaguing you, right? But if you do not go in there and fight these demons yourself, which is spiritual. This is why I said spiritual is the foundation. If you don't go in there and fight with inside of your thoughts and understanding and realize there's something that is plaguing you, then you are doing yourself no great justice. You are doing yourself an great civilization upon yourself. And when I'm talking about civilization, I'm talking about civilization of your thoughts, a beginning of a new you. I have learned this. I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much. I'm doing amazing. I'm here to help us, guide us through this darkness which is a plagued upon us. These issues that we are dealing with, we are met with alcohol and drugs. I know it all too well. We get up here on these platforms and we're saying that we leading people to focus, to vibe, to good energy. But in the same token, we are leading people down a path of entertainment. This is why I notice that when certain YouTubers and certain people put up certain titles, they don't get big views. Because nobody wants to hear your trauma. They want to hear the drama. They want to hear you drama. They want to hear about you crashing out, you using your mental illness and you using violence to kill people and talk about you killing people. So what that tells you, you are there for entertainment. You are a vessel. And this is why your conditions cannot help you. You have to go in there and fight your own self, your own thoughts. I did it. And I was years and years in plague with this. While you and individuals that's on these platforms, YouTubers, was out there banging, in and out of jail, didn't having jobs, wasn't helping their family out. I was working. And people that know me on a personal level, know that I was a leading force in the workforce of working. I helped countless of many individuals get jobs, come home from these plantations and jails and being up there, landing jobs. Maintenance jobs, porter jobs, all these things just to keep them afloat and keep them from out of these plantations to build themselves up, because there was no institution and there was nothing, a leading force to help us out, basically. So I know how to deal with traumas and depression and oppression and any other things that is plagued with us with mental illness, which is there to lead you down a path of darkness. At the end of the day, as we see it all on the internet, people are living a very, very dark life and covering it up with materialistic things. It's not going to fix your situation. I don't care how many houses you get. I don't care how much jewelry you wear. I don't care how much clothes you get. If you do not fix yourself, if you do not go in there and fight these things, these illness that is plaguing you each and every night, that is plaguing your family. You sleeping in the dark. And all of these things in your house, you're a prison, and your family is a prison because of your past traumas. Then you cannot get yourself right. You cannot lead others if you cannot lead yourself out of darkness. You have to backbite yourself. You have to backstab yourself. You have to backdoor yourself. That's been plagued with traumas after traumas, illness after illness. That's been there. That's dealing with different personalities, disorders. These things need to be addressed before you can address viewers and audience. Because you have unfinished business. The business that you're attending to on social media, on these platforms, is not being met with success. You did not succeed. You did not finish the fight. You did not win. You are not successful. You thinking that you're successful by buying things? You still have major demons and major illness that you are faced with each and every day. And it's going to keep plaguing you until you go in there and fight these things. The same behaviors that you're seeing people doing, you're doing to certain other people. Hurt people hurt people. People that's dealing with trauma and illness and mental disability, right, are hurting people because they are hurt. But you have to find a way to go in there and fight, to say no. Put the drugs down. No. Put the alcohol down. No. Put the cigarettes down. No. Put the weed down. No. Put the food down that is plaguing you with poison. You are killing yourself and don't even realize it. That's right. The Almighty is great. That's right. But he's only great if you realize that he's going to help you. These things are met with what? A big bag. This is a big bag. Big money. Illness, social illness. Violence upon violence. Organ donor after organ donor at the end of the day. It has to be an avenue. It has to be a way to do what? To lead those with illness. Right? To produce more medication to suppress this demonic, evil, twisted way of life that's inside of you. No medication, no one can help you but yourself. You're doing yourself you're not doing yourself a great service. You're doing yourself a what? A great service of your demise, basically. And those want to see you. They want to see you get murdered. They want to see you crash out. So to say, you are conflict with demons and devils that you cannot see, and it's plaguing you each and every day. But I overcame mine. I overcame mine. Yes, I am a victim on any type of level that you want to talk about. Big John says, who give Uncle drugs again? Well, society gives drugs, allegedly. Those that's out there that's peddling these certain things. This is the enlightenment. This is the tools that is meant with social illness with this side of ourselves in our community. The more individuals are plagued with mental illness, the more society gets money and everybody get a bag. To talk, to to expose and to get up on social media, on YouTube, on Facebook or Instagram, on all of these major platforms, and to expose your mental illness. It is not to lead those, it is to do entertain. I mean, people laughing at you. So these major platforms feed you, feed you, feed you, feed you. It feeds you. It feeds you dope. It feeds you deception. It feeds you more misinformation, and you spread it. The question is, right? What are the signs that you have? You know you have signs. You know you have social illness. But what are you doing to uplift yourself and your thoughts? Because it's spirituality. You have people that have studied this many, many, many years, and they plague it, they activate it. They press a button, beep. Activate Project 17. Who's Project 17? Activate social illness, mental illness, and violence. I want this specific neighborhood plagued with drugs and alcohol. I want 10 Nino Browns on the corner. And then I want those that have a little social illness that we plague their parents with drugs and alcohols, which is plagued in the very reproduction system, to come on social media and to lead others down a path of darkness. Labarta said if you raise a kid for 16 years alone, then baby mama comes through and see your this what and get mad. Who's wrong, me or her? No one is wrong. What's wrong is that there's a force there, right? There's a force there that's leading families, breaking up families, destroying families. I mean, annihilating them, eradicating families in love. That's destroying you, that you cannot see with your eyes. And which is added in the drugs and alcohol and violence and the guns. That's added in. But the first initial attack is spirituality that you cannot see. It sits back like this. Get him, like this. It sits back and it cloaks itself in positions where you cannot see it. So it's past traumas on from generation, because it has studied the format of our community. It has studied the very bloodline and the essence of us, basically. It's like a chess game. It picks. So it sees that and is being met with drugs and alcohol to deal with emotions, to deal with social illness and violence and guns. So we can kill each other, basically. But you, as an individual, as the mother or father, brothers and sisters, kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen, prince and princess all around the world, you must tap into yourself. If you are dealing with traumas and you are dealing with depression, because through social media, through social gatherings, through society in our communities, which is plagued there, you can't see it. You cannot see this thing. It lives, it breathes. Because you know why? It's for the destruction. Because this very thing doesn't have a family. It doesn't have a wife. It doesn't have children. It doesn't have happiness. It is bitter, 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 bitter. This is why a lot of these things cannot be talked about. This is why a lot of these programs are coming up, because society is plagued with this. Murder, death, kill, barbaric, evil, twisted way of life, basically. And it's a bag. It's a bag. The more trauma And the more illness that it is and the more violence it is, it calls for a bigger bag, more overtime, more red tape, yellow tape, more organ donors, more hospital visits. Because this thing has set up a path for destruction. It is not the human being, but it is this thing, this entity that exists that you and I can't see. And this is why I built my platform to help each other out. I'm really, really here to help you out. I am not here for the views. I am not here for the money. I'm actually helping you out because I help myself out. I help myself undo and unravel and expose this murder, death, kill, barbaric, evil, twisted way to destroy us, basically. You have individuals saying, I don't want to argue with somebody that got 5 views or 4 views or 50 views or 100 views. But you know what? Out of those views, you know how many people I help recognize spirituality? I have individuals coming to tell me I'm therapeutic to them. I talk to them each and every day to help them with their trauma and depression because I am them, they are me. I'm not getting up here crashing out. I'm not getting up here showing illness. I'm up here to lead you to a path of righteousness, to help you. You see, look at my brother. Labito. Wow, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. I need to hear that. That's right. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. You have individuals coming here saying that I am stealing their subscribers. I'm not stealing anybody. That's not my objective. It's to steal people content, to steal people platforms or anything like that. Individuals are going to recognize and they are going to go where it's needed, where they need it at. I am not here to entertain you. I'm here to guide you, to ask you to use your spirituality. You ask yourself, as YouTubers that's been on here for years and years and years, did your spirituality was uplifted? Get in my comments, please. Get in my comments. I need for you to get in my comments. Please like, share, subscribe. Please like, share, subscribe. I will appreciate it. Because these things need to be addressed and it needs to be unraveled and exposed. Yes, I am a victim, but I'm not going to do no more myself ungreat service upon myself to keep using me being a victim and being victimized and to keep getting views. At some particular time in my life, I have to lead. I have to fight. And I want you to do the same thing, basically. There is a mindset there to destroy you at the end of the day. It does not like you. It doesn't care about you. And it's there to destroy you, basically. This is why it's my job to be up here to lead the force of the kill, murder, death, kill, barbaric, evil, twisted way of life at the end of the day. To address these things is serious to me. To bring the light of the worship of one creator, the Alpha Omega to you, right, is my job. And also to deal with certain things that come from a brother that was on the street corners, that was on the bodega, that used to be in the house party breakdancing, that used to be squeegering and selling air fresheners on the highway, didn't have no food, basically going to every night where they had Twin Donuts up on Fordham Road. They had Twin Donuts. When you get off the 4 train, if people know me, they know me, right? There should be Twin Donuts right there where the hibachi's at right now on Jerome. I used to go up there because I used to live on 190th, right, on Webb Avenue, right, by DeVoe Park. I used to live up there by the VA hospital, right? I used to get off the train every day, and I knew what time where they threw out the donuts, the old donuts, and I would knock on the window and ask for the donuts and go home and heat them up. That's how hungry I was. I am that person. I am that person. This is all big facts. So when individuals out here, boom, 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 I was working. I was using a hammer and still being plagued with what? Social illness and alcohol and cigarettes and darkness upon darkness. I never gave up on myself, basically. And you shouldn't give up on yourself too. But to sit here for years and years and years and years and years and years and years after years and doing these same behavior and speak upon these same behavior and showing this same social illness lets me know that you have not dealt with your demons and that you are using this for entertainment. It's not a guide. I'm not getting nothing. I'm not getting nothing out of it, and I know that there's individuals that's not getting nothing out of it to uplift their spirit. I want to know actually how to deal with drugs, how to get off drugs, how to get off social illness, how to get off mental medication and get my life back on track. I want to know this. I don't want to hear about fighting and Mano and about Jim Jones and about Cameron and about Mace or about Big Meech, about any and everybody else. Because all of these individuals that you're talking about have trauma, and they deal with it on social media by gathering up all these materialistic things. This is how they are dealing with their traumas and past experience. Everybody have traumas. Everybody have some type of mental illness about themselves. But it's what you do with it. Some deal with it by doing what? Making rap songs, leading other people down a dark path of ignorance and death, murder, kill. Some use it, right? They use their traumas by advertising drugs and alcohol and guns. Some use it by buying clothes and houses and certain other things to lead people down a path of darkness. They covering up their traumas and past, experience with these things. They are being met with society with money and gold and cloaking it with fame, fortune, and riches. That's how they cloak with their traumas and their social illness, individually and collectively. They know not what they do. I took all my losses, all my being victimized. I took it and turned it into wins. And what I mean by that, each and every devil, each and every of this mental, I had to kill it. I had to kill it. I had to go in there and kill it. I had to go kill it and annihilate it. That's what we must do. Stop blaming any and everybody. Stop blaming your parents. Stop blaming the teachers. Stop blaming the court system. Stop blaming the hospital. Stop blaming it and blame ourselves. The thoughts that come from the demon that sits like this behind you like this. Yeah. He's like this. Stabbing you in your back. Every stab and every backbite and every backdoor is 1,000 years upon you uplifting yourself out of this darkness. The brother said depression is not a disease. It is a state of mind. See the signs. Yes. Yes. But it could turn into a disease. And why I said that it could turn into a disease, because the reason why it's a disease, right? A disease, you got different diseases, right? Different parasites. It can latch on to you, basically. After these things are procreated, right? You could pass it on to your partners. You could pass it on to your children. You can pass it on to your civilization. You can pass it on to your communities. That's why it becomes a disease that's unchecked. You understand where I'm coming from? There is no medicine for it. You have to be the medicine towards yourself to get rid of this state of mind, which is plagued with a disease. A disease is passed on. It could be sexual, it could be mental, it could be physical, right? But yes, we have a disease of spirituality. It can affect you. This is why I said spirituality is a leading force for us to get in tune with ourselves to fight against mental illness and violence. Poverty, mis information, education, pregnancy, teenage pregnancy, all of it. Our family is met with this because what happened is that if you're drinking and using drugs and are plagued with certain things, it passes on into the child. It passes on and it lives. It lives within inside of you, inside of your thoughts, in your very reproduction system. This is why it's very important. This is why these institutions are set up to run up the bag, basically. It's to run the bag up. I can use, there's people that deal with traumas, that deal with social illness, and turn their social illness and things that they have done and not fix their situation, they turn into a lucrative business. And they are leading other people with certain traumas. So it's spread like a disease. Yes, it's a mindset. And this mindset that you cannot see. Because this mindset doesn't have a family. It can't reproduce. It can't reproduce, basically, sexually, in any other type of way. It is alone. And it has an army that spread it out amongst itself, its species, and amongst human beings that we cannot see it. This is why they can't come up with the answer on where all this stuff come from, because it's a spiritual form. We are not taught to realize and recognize that spiritual exists. It coexists with us on earth. This is why this sort of behavior is being eradicated, spirituality. That's right. Depression is not a disease, it's a state of mind, yes. That's developed by what? What is it developed by? And who developed this and who procreated this? Because at one particular time, we didn't have no social illness. It wasn't there. It was procreated. It was procreated. Check it out. Back in the 60s and the 50s. Check it out. So these things need to be addressed and need to be put forth, basically. And we need to talk about these things. And those that's promoting it, they don't know that they promoting it because they are dealing with their own illness. And they have not tackled this and wrestled with it and kill it and annihilate it to come back to be the leading force. Yo, I'll be outside. I still take the train, public transportation. I take the buses. I'll be walking up and down. I am not just behind this camera talking. I live it. I fought it. I beat it. I eradicated it. This is facts. Those that know me know that what I'm saying is the truth. Do I still deal with bits and pieces of this certain behavior? Yes. I have to maintain my thoughts. So it's people, places, and things. People, places, and things. But if you have not dealt with your own traumas and your illness, people, places, and things, right? People, places, and things will not be your problem, basically. I had to remove people, places, and things. These are steps that you must do. You can remove people, places, and things, but you are still plagued with demons that's there. That's putting thoughts and images in your head. I know the thoughts and images. I eradicated it. Because I trust and believe the Almighty Creator, the Alpha Omega. My job is to help you get the understanding for the Alpha Omega, the one creator. He have no son, he have no daughter. He has no family. We are his creation. And to live and abide by his rules and regulation and his map that he set out to deal with traumas and illness and violence. This is a leading force for us. In order to lead, in order to be an example, you first must throw a rock at your glass house. You must first throw the rocks at yourself and your thoughts in order to lead people. Because if you don't do that, people are going to look at you as a joke and as entertainment. You are not a leading force, what you think you are. So these things and these social illness and these plagues of parasites are here for bags. It's only for bags. It's lucrative business. It's nothing personal. Once you understand that this format is nothing personal, then you will understand. But you pick and choose. You could pick and choose if this is entertainment. If it's entertainment, if you're getting paid, you're going to follow this down a dark, dark path that you won't be able to come out of. You'll get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and you cannot find your way out. I know it all too well. I was there. I was there. It took all my life to eradicate these certain things, to eradicate past traumas, generational curses, and start to build generational wealth, brown wealth, and to deal with my fears. I'm working on that right now. After conquering of these things, right? After conquering of these illness that I was plagued with, you have to work on your affairs. You have to get your affairs. If your affairs is not intact and is not at the forefront, then you have not dealt with your social illness. You are afraid to go in there and fight your demons, which is plaguing you. I'm telling you, you can do it. I did it. So don't sit here and tell me that you can't do it, that you cannot help yourself. I help myself without clinical workers or without going to institution. I help myself with the Creator's help, with the Almighty. He helped me. He helped me and rebuilt me. But you have to do it. No one can do it. No drugs, no alcohol, no violence, no ending out these plantations and doing violence and killing people, talking about hurting people. None of that's going to work. You have to go in there and fight this demon. It is huge. And not just one, it's major, it's many of them. Social illness is one. Mental personality, that's another. Eating, that's another one. Chasing behind materialistic things, covering up your trauma, that's another one. Isolating yourself, that's another one. Talking about murder, death, kill, barbaric, evil, twisted way of life, that is another one. I can talk about it and expose it because I don't do it. I'm not living it. I eradicate these behaviors out of my life and came successful, meaning through what society say. Society, the community. New York City. A city worker. Because I know what the city needs and I know what the city want. And I know what it's plagued with. Because I was of that same bracket, that same mindset that is being procreated with youth through social media, through all these major platforms. As people running it up for bad, thinking that it's a good thing, but it's really bad. So take my words of wisdom, take my words of advice, take my words of love and care. I am here to help you, basically. Yes, I am that little boy. And after this, I'm going to do, right? I'm going to go live again and talk about that little boy. I'm going to talk about that little boy. But it's not going to be basically talking about certain things. I'm talking about the little boy. Peace, y'all. Peace. Peace.